lose all credibility.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to the Back at the Castle podcast. I'm Doc, and I'm here with House. Uh, this is brand new
Hey,
podcast. He just said hey. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about my experience in working in the Devil Corp, right? So
right.
I'll let you take the floor, House.
So, I think it's a good place to start is just sort of what Devil Corps are. I think they're more traditionally known as sort of marketing agencies, I think is what they prefer to go by. But pretty
Uh,
much it's an organization kind of based on commission work, marketing, etc. Customer acquisition, like they use so many different words to sugarcoat it that it's actually hard to kind of get a grasp on exactly what they are. But they're very famous for sort of screwing employees out of money or underpaying people. Um, Make it very hard for kind of being predatory towards people trying to get an entry level foot in the door towards some real good work.
Yeah, I would say pretty much bang on. The only real difference is that direct sales, these marketing agencies are devil corps, as I call them, as everyone pretty much else calls them. Uh, they like to, how do I explain this? They use the term direct sales, which legally speaking and hypothetically speaking, that is the correct term to use. Direct sales is what they
It's what they
do.
like.
Yeah, it is what they do, and it's what they say they do. But no, pretty much everything else was bang on. I was more thinking along the lines of, do you have any questions for my time there, or do you want me to just get started from the beginning?
Yeah. What was your first impression of them? What was the sort of emotions that you had when you were first going into your interview with some of these guys, and overall, what was it like? You know, were you full of hope? Did it seem like a great opportunity? Some of the cautionary things.
Well, yeah, I was very excited. It felt almost too good to be true. Very nerve wracking. Felt nervous. Everyone felt
Natural. Yeah.
extremely professional. Yeah. Uh, the almost it did seem too good to be true. Me, this person. But I assumed at the end of the day there was rich people who had no degrees. There were people in business who had no degrees, and I assumed, oh well, if these people can make it, maybe there's just a chance that this is a new style of work. So I bit I bit my tongue and I thought, okay, I went. I'm gonna go into my interview. I went in for the first day. It was pretty loud. It was a very empty office. I was speaking to you earlier, and you did quote that as saying the office was very empty when you went to your interview recently. Correct?
Yeah, it was like they did nothing but hire people.
Yeah,
I looked around and I know what an actual office looks like because I have a little bit of experience here and there without getting into too much detail.
yeah,
But I know what an actual office is supposed to look like, and this one was different. It was like the shell or the face of an office and nothing else.
yeah.
There was a little bit of hustle and bustle, but it was mostly interviewers leading people into rooms, leading people out of rooms. I looked at somebody's computer and there was nothing but an interview schedule. There's no actual business happening except for the business of hiring people, which is really weird. Why do you need all these people if there's no other work happening in the office, right?
Oh, exactly. Mine was pretty much same loud dance house music. I'm pretty sure you was same dance house music.
Yeah, that
Ev-
was weird. They had club music. What type of an office has club music?
I know, right? Fuck me. They had really loud club music. I guess they wanted to give off the image that
Stuff that appeals
the
to younger people.
yeah, they wanted to give off the image that the cool, the hip, the fly guy. But I made sure to buy out to them right away that that wasn't me. I even told them I'm more of a quiet, reserved type of guy. I can be social when I want to be social, but
Mm-hmm.
personally, I like being to myself, sticking to myself, having my close group of friends, and just living that way. So I'm sitting in the I don't know what you would call it because he never really gave it a name. It was more like a little cubby, an area in front of where the receptionist sat, but it was connected. It was
Like it was a waiting room.
It was like it's like a waiting room, but it was connected to the rest of the office, and there was like no doors separating it from the rest of the office. It's like if the waiting room was in the hallway of a bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like where you wait to be seen by a doctor. It's like the waiting room of a clinic.
Yes, exactly. That is bang on. It's like waiting at a clinic to be seen by a doctor. I'm not going to get
weird.
into too much details about how it looked, but it was a very strict-looking man. A very strict-looking man who came out and instantly stuck
very
out
intimidating.
Yeah, very intimidating, man. He stuck out his hand immediately. Also, extremely overdressed. I would say his name.
They're so
I would say his name, to be fair, but I can't fucking remember his name. Because this
We'll
was
call
the
him
one.
Jeff. All these organizations have a guy named Jeff.
We'll go with Jeff. So yeah, Jeff stuck
Every
out his
single time.
hand.
Yeah.
Of course I shook. I was firm. He was firm. I think we would go. Jeff would go along, and you'll hear more about him in the stories later on. But I think deeper down than just work, I think Jeff genuinely respected my character because I went in no bullshit first day. But so me and Jeff sat down in an office, very much like you. There was a person watching him who was learning. I don't know if that was just if that's just a tactic they use, or if genuinely both those people were learning. It's a mighty coincidence.
Yeah, I think it was. In my scenario, it was the only interview I've ever sat in where there was myself, an interviewer, and someone who just sat there and stayed quiet. I'm not sure if the person sitting there and staying quiet was learning from the interviewer or monitoring them to see if they taught them properly. Either way, the third party, pretty much says their name, and then they sit there the entire time.
Yeah.
Like these places are weird. It's extremely off-settling because you feel like you're going into a real job. You feel like it's in a real office, but there's just something a little bit off consistently.
I do think at the end of the day there is a expectation for you to feel off, since you knew what you was getting yourself into. Yeah. You went into that interview knowing. I didn't know. I thought this was just how offices were run, and shit changed. It felt like Wolf of Wall Street, to be completely honest. So
I feel like they watch that movie way too much, but that's digressing.
Absolutely, they love that movie.
Yeah. Which, if you really want to be like Jordan Belfort, I don't think you got the point.
Yeah. He actually earned his customers' money. Some of them.
Jordan Belfort? No, the guy was a grifter, but anyways.
He earned some of the money, but
he's a white-collar criminal. He's not to be looked up to, but I digress again.
Yeah, no, it was very pressuring though. Like the people, they were dressed, fucking dressed, overdressed. But like they did not. There's something as well. Like when I was listening to your interview, I was very surprised they told you what they actually did. They didn't tell me until I was on the field. I didn't find out what I was doing until the very day I went out for the first time. I'm pretty sure I actually called you that day and told you that it was different from what I expected.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was very weird. So we're going on to my orientational day. No? The orientational day in the first few hours on the field. Pretty much the same feeling as the interview stages. they were all pretty much the same. We had the usual spiel about how direct sales is better than indirect, quote unquote, indirect sales, because direct sales or direct marketing, whichever word, the combination of words they decide to use. Indirect sales, you get at them 100% of the return, which is bullshit. Then the company
That is bullshit.
the company that's hiring us does not earn a fucking penny. It'll be very surprised if they are actually earning enough for them to carry on hiring us. But we went in. This was the first time of me ever experiencing what is known as atmosphere. Atmosphere. You get into a big room. Everyone claps. Everyone celebrates, ringing the bell, getting 5 sales in a day.
They have to.
They have to. Oh no, this is mandatory. A mandatory event, which is unpaid for, in a self-employment role. I think that's they always marketed it. I think in the first company I worked at, they marketed it as business learning, right? So it was teaching us the actual how the business worked, how we earned money, shit like that. That's what they used to teach us this shit. But I have the last company I worked at in Corp. They did call it atmosphere, and I have heard it called atmosphere quite a few times. I think atmosphere is a more common used word. No, though. First company I worked with was Appco. So we go into atmosphere. They're all clapping.
Names. Okay.
This is something I've never seen them do before. If you rang the bell, you would have to run around in a circle, high-fiving everybody in the room. And now this was a small fucking room. I mean, if you wanted to walk in a circle in this room, it'll take you less than about 4 seconds, right? So, very fucking small room. They had about 40 people in this room. They had 40 fucking people in a tiny room. Like, there was some.
And they're all just patting each other on the back, unpaid, on their free time.
Yeah, horrible.
Because they have to. As self-employees, they have to do this. Like, you see how that's kind of wrong?
Yeah, no. I have some funny stories about this. So we went to our first day. I went to I can't remember the name of the area. It's nowhere near where I live. It's same city, but my city's big enough where I can name the area and people won't be able to find me.
I wouldn't get too specific anyways, but yeah, you were in a place.
Yeah, I was in a
little bit out of town.
Lower income area. And he set up a banner.
Yeah.
A banner with the charity. It was a charity I worked for first. He set up a banner with the charity's logo, what we were selling on it, and a desk.
Best part is it was a charity, and for what they paid you, you might as well have been a volunteer.
I wish I did volunteer. The charity would have actually earned money. I really feel bad about ever doing that job. But no, I met my team leader. Yeah. He was a nice guy. We're going to call him Thomas. Thomas was a very nice guy. I would say I look up to him, but I don't really look up to him. I don't want to be in the position he's in now, because last time I checked, he's just been made an owner. And God only knows how much debt he's going to get himself into. So I met my team leader.
For the company.
No, for his quote unquote his company now. I met my team leader. We went out to the field. This is where I should have got my biggest red flag. There was a woman who we went out to the field with. She was a new start as well.
You got to clarify that so fast.
She was okay. It will become clearer as I go on. She was a new start as well. I was gonna have my first proper day, the day off after I had my orientation and my first few hours on the field. Basically, we went inside the store. We talked to the manager. The manager just gave us a little book. We had to sign in and say, "Hey, I'm going to be working outside."
Mhm.
We did that. We literally stood around just bothering people for like 3-4 hours, and about 2.5 hours in, the guy makes Thomas makes a sale. He used very pressuring tactics. He made them feel bad. I if I'm not if I'm remembering correctly, sorry. I'm pretty sure they didn't want to sign up, but he used the excuse that we would not be there tomorrow. We were there tomorrow. He used the excuse we won't be there tomorrow, and that there is people who are dying that need their help. And while I don't think this guy is inherently bad, I think he's been very manipulated into thinking what he's doing is correct. Because at the end of the day,
Pretty bad.
if you told somebody that they're earning money for charity and lying for charity isn't that bad, at the end of the day, if you're lying for charity, it's what you think is charity. I think it lessens the evil. He said this, and I should have clocked on at that moment. It was horrible, but I thought grifter's got a grift. I'm used to people lying in interviews, especially job interviews.
It ain't easy being sleazy.
Exactly. So that's pretty
Exactly.
much how my first day went. I spent like I think it was about £8 getting back home. Cost me a fuck ton getting back.
Did you make any money that day?
No, I didn't make any money. They wouldn't let me they wouldn't let me do any sales that day because I was just there to watch and learn.
So you went with these people. You went. It was mandatory. You had to be there,
Yes.
working under their arms, and you put money into the transportation there, back,
Only
and you
back.
didn't get
Only
paid for any of your time or your resources.
Luckily, Thomas is genuinely a nice guy. Like, I don't think he's ill-intended by any means. And Thomas, he paid for an Uber down there. He did pay for the Uber down there out of his own pocket. So I did. I won't lie.
But you see, that's not how a normal job works.
Yeah. I
I'm just gonna keep pointing that out because maybe somebody listening to this doesn't exactly know, like, exactly why we're kind of picking so hard on these guys.
absolutely. It
I do
is.
this, right?
No, I understand. So, I'm not going to share all my stories today because, well, I'm going to be in a lot more podcasts, and I want to be able to point out some stories I've not shown. But I'm going to share my third day. My third day, because my third day I think is the most hilarious one. Because this was the day when I woke up and thought, what are we actually doing? My third day, I went to.
What am I doing with these guys? Yeah.
So what do you say?
You're like, what am I doing with these guys, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. So third
Yeah.
day, I go to a city that's about 2 hours away from my main city on train, which I had to pay for. That costed me a bit of money. That costed me a lot. Costed me so much. I got to the city and had no money for dinner. I had to ask my dad for money to borrow some money. I got myself into a lot of debt working at these places. He sent me the money, thankfully. And I had a gym membership at the time. I'm pretty sure you can remember me having that gym membership.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a gym membership at the time, and the gym, what I didn't know, the gym membership was a direct debit, right? So direct debits, no matter if you have an overdraft or not, it will take it out. It will overdraft your account. right? So
Yeah.
here I am, getting ready to go to in the city with no money. My dad's just sent me £20 to get some food for the day because I'm gonna be there for what 10, 12 hours, and unknowing to me, the overdrafts, my gym membership's been overdrafted, and I'm left with like negative £3 in the bank. And
So what your dad sent you really just put you back in the black, and you didn't have as much as you thought.
it kept me complete from a bank being really pissed off.
Yeah.
So that happens. I'm pissed off. I'm thinking, fuck, I'm not gonna eat. Blah blah blah. Luckily, the money got refunded anyway. I cancelled my gym subscription. But
Yeah.
now, we go. We head to the store. We head back to the store, right? We had only paid for a ticket up there, right? So what we would do is pay for a ticket down there and then up there again, right? We paid for a bus ticket up. We paid for a train ticket up there, and then we bought a bus ticket up, from the train station to the job site. Same as always, we went in, set up, and then went to sign in. There was no manager around at the time, so we pressured the only employee at that till at the moment to allow us to sign in. We signed in. We stayed there for about 6 hours until we this is a day that do you remember me telling you about the crazy man?
Yeah, the crazy man.
The crazy man. This is the day that the crazy man came. this is the exact same day. Yeah, Thomas got harassed by a man who denied certain medical disorders and believed he was all made up. So we talked to this man.
That's putting it so lightly.
Yeah, it was. I'm not trying to get the whole channel demonetized before we even get monetized.
I'm not even thinking about monetization, but yeah.
No, no, monetization, demonetization hits more than just your monetization, man.
No, it just affects your ability to actually communicate.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it hits a lot more. But no, we stayed there till about 8 p.m. We was gonna stay there till about 10. We stayed there till 8. And at 8 o'clock, the assistant manager came out and was like, "What are you guys doing here? I didn't give you permission to be here." It was like, "Oh yeah, we got permission off the manager." He went, which was a fucking lie, by the way. The manager was not there. We knew he was not there. And the assistant manager was like, "The manager's not been here for a week. He's on holiday." This point, we had realised we'd been calling a lie. I kept bringing this up to him throughout the day, like, "Man, we're gonna get caught for this shit." He was like, "No, it'll be fine, he won't even care." He cared. So we got kicked out at about 8 p.m. During this time, like, as we're getting kicked out, we're packing up and shit. Thomas goes and calls the owner of the office. The owner of the office is fucking mad, right? And this is what made me think, wait,
Yeah.
what? He's mad, right? So he comes, talks to the assistant manager. The assistant manager's like, "No, I can't do it. I've not been told to allow you guys in, and for all I know, you're fraudsters." Little did he know how fucking correct he actually was.
You had a pretty good hunch.
Yeah, he had a really good hunch. So we go outside, and he says, "Oh, I'll give you guys a lift back," which I was fucking happy about because it means less money having to be spent. We get a lift back. It's like an hour in the car. He's talking about how I did. He didn't seem that mad when we was in the car, to be fair. And then we got back to the thing. Now, this guy, throughout the first 2-3 interviews, was telling me, "Oh, I make millions. Yeah, I make millions. Yeah, I nearly accidentally bought $1 million apartment." Right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy was blowing about all this shit. We go back to the office to drop off the shit. This is about now 9-10 p.m. Right? It is late.
Yeah.
We get back to the office, and this guy, I shit you not, starts saying, "I've got to stay in the car. You guys be quick. I can't afford another ticket." This is
What
a
these
guy.
people do is that they lie.
Yeah, this guy's claimed he's a multi-millionaire, but he can't afford what, like a £15 ticket for being parked on the side of the road for like 10 minutes, most. But at the time, I
Yeah.
did shrug it off, if I'm going to be honest. But it's what's sown the doubt. But no, yeah, that was like the day that I realized. I kept going for about a week after. Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish it there unless you want me to talk about the day I quit.
No, it's all right. I think that's actually a pretty good spot. Just let's put it simply: you were with this organization for 3 days.
No, I was
3 days is all it took.
for me to realize, oh shit, this is a sham. And that's not a disrespect to anyone who does
Well,
agree.
no.
The
3 days is all it took. You went in there. You had spent countless hours unpaid, which, you were previously looking for a job somewhere where you would be paid. You had spent countless hours unpaid. They took you out of the job market, made you stop looking. Countless hours unpaid. You had to pay for your own transportation, which put you out probably put you out about 80 on the one day, and I'm guessing for the train ride something like 30 to 40.
It cost me
So
almost the
you were
whole
you were out
wallet.
probably 110, 120. We're going to say for speculating, right? Like somewhere
Yeah,
around there.
yeah. It
Yeah.
put it put me down.
Um,
How come? Ouch.
and you had to ask for money from your family. You had
Yeah,
been kicked out of a store.
yeah. I was.
All this happened in about 3 days, just because you simply trusted them and because they said, "Hey, I can give you a job," while you're in a very vulnerable position of "I need a job," and
Yeah,
that is what these people do.
yeah.
That's
No.
what these people do. They find the most vulnerable people in society, people who actually have a hope or a glimmer of actually bettering their lives, and they promise that to them and take advantage and manipulate them the entire way through.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And they do this by absolute design. Something that I've noticed with all these organizations in the past, and some patterns I've noticed, is that anytime you see them in a job listing, they say there's uncapped earning potential, fast and easy career growth. There's a lot of these things that, especially people who have fallen a little bit for hustle culture, really believe in, really want and hope for, and they use that to screw you over. They'll sit there and lie to you. They'll say, "This is how much money we make." When I was in my interview with these guys, they said that their average employee makes $30 to $40 an hour. Now, when I simply asked if it was possible for me to make a wage, such as $15 an hour, they said no. Well, if what they said the first time was true, and their average guy makes $30 to $40 an hour from them, if I asked for $15 an hour and they said yes, they would be saving money. However, they were not telling the truth, and they never are, and they never will be.
No, because
And that's all well and good, and we can defend ourselves quite well if we are aware of who these people are and what they do when we're walking in these interviews. However, all the other people in the waiting room with me before I went into an interview, they were dressed up nice. They were younger people. They were like, there's this one guy who looked like a 17-year-old fry cook who's dressing up as a lawyer for Halloween. And they want to impress these people because they're thinking, "I want to have a job. I want to prove myself." And I felt bad for those people in the waiting room with me because I just knew they were going to get screwed.
oh yeah,
Because the conversation flips on its head. You're going in there thinking, "I need to impress these people because I want a job." And you sit down in the room with them, and it's more like they're trying to impress you. They're trying to win you over as a worker.
oh yeah,
If you
absolutely.
don't know what you're getting into, you're going to think that is a great thing. You're going to sign up for it. You're going to fall through.
Yeah, no.
And anytime the road might seem difficult or might seem like a bad idea, or you're thinking of talking away, they'll say you should talk to them. If you go and talk to them, they'll convince you to stick it out, wait it out, get better at your skills, or they'll tell you it's only difficult because you're not good enough. They will keep you running around and around and around the loop because that is how they make their money. And we'll get into the exact economics of this at a later time, but that is how they make their money.
Oh no, yeah.
They don't provide anything. They don't provide any products or services. If you go onto their websites, their social medias, they're not advertising a product or service. They advertise only how great it is to work for them. And how weird is that for a business? How do they make money?
Yeah, no, it's
right?
absolutely
They don't
horrible.
provide a product or a service that they have to advertise to customers.
Yeah, no, it's
But all that they
absolutely
advertise is work for us.
Yeah, no,
It's weird.
it is absolutely horrible. I wanted to point out the fact, not that they are, well, let's just say exploiting people for the monetary benefits, but the career growth benefits as well. The whole idea of, oh, you can become a store or a owner of a company within 1 to 2 years. And at the end of the day, you're never going to be an owner of a company at one of these devil corps, whether it be Appco, I believe these are Credico. What was the one you was at? What was that one?
Can't quite remember, but they had some sort of a white and gold logo. But anyways, they
Smart Circle.
they all kind of there's a million different names. Yeah, they go under a million different names, and they're all the exact same thing. And odds are that you know of one of them in your city.
Oh, yeah.
Odds are you've seen their advertisements. Odds are that you're aware of this, but odds are that you don't know exactly how volatile and vicious it is, aside from just you won't get paid as much as you think you will.
Oh, no,
these guys will actually lie to and manipulate people, and they will be very toxic and venomous and leech their way into somebody's life. Very similar to a cult. And there's a lot of comparisons to be drawn there that I'm sure that we're going to do at a different time.
Yeah, no.
They are terrible, terrible organizations.
If you would like, I can get into a bit of the whole sales cult and direct sales cult ties connected to them. There is a fuck ton of them. I believe it is. What's the mental health one? The mental health book called? The one that lists all the mental health issues. I believe they did.
The DSM-5.
DSM-5. I believe the DSM-5 have listed what we call Devil Corps as a direct sales cult, and they have officially recognized it as such a cult because of the tactics they use to brainwash people and to
I can't verify that, but definitely they are not good for the people who work for them.
Let me search it.
And I wouldn't even say they work for them because they're not employed, they work with them.
Let me search this up. I'll get it up on the video real quick.
But it's very interesting. When I was in my interview with these guys, I said, okay, so you guys provide the equipment, you tell me where to be, you tell me what to do. Why am I not an employee? Oh, well, you get paid in commission. Well, the thing is, at that point, I am an employee. You are the commission thing means that you are not paying me. It is sell or starve. And it means I don't have any of the protections. It means I don't have any rights under you guys, aside from what is outlined in a contract that they write. Just go ahead and try to present your own contract to these guys. They will not sign it. Right.
Okay, it wasn't on DSM-5, but it is on like Psychology Today, the New Yorker.
It's well documented.
Yeah, like this is.
I'm not going to take that away from you. It is well documented.
The Federal Trade Commission. Direct.
Oh, that's a big one.
Wales.
That's a big one.
Like. These aren't just some made-up connections. These are genuinely real connections that exist between these. These are, by all means, cults. And the only reason they're getting away with it and are legally allowed to do it is because they stay pretty much as far away from being a pyramid scheme or an MLM as they can be while still being one.
Well, they replaced the jargon with jargon. Yeah. But aside from that, when you actually get into the meat and bones and everything with substance with these guys, they have a very similar structure, and they make their money in the same way.
Okay. If I can ask something, I want to talk about real quick. I want to talk about when you was in the interview. I directly remember them telling you the benefit of regular jobs over regular salary based
I know where you're going.
that
I know where you're going.
that they don't you do not have the tax doesn't come out of it, right? So where do
Yeah,
you think
I could talk on that.
yeah.
Actually, I didn't even ask them what the benefit of being commission based is.
Okay.
I didn't ask them that. They just, I was trying to take them off their script, and they were fighting against that very, very hard. So they kept going to weird parts of their script that weren't relevant to what I was saying.
I'm pretty sure you did ask something
They were very
like
much clinging to the stuff that they were used to saying. It was weird.
yeah, you were
But
sticking to
I was talking about okay, so if you guys do this and this and this for me, why am I not an employee? And they said, oh, well, you're commission based. All right, can you elaborate? And they were like, oh, well, some of the benefits of being commission based, I didn't ask. But some of the commission benefits of being commission based is, first of all, there's no limit to how much money you can make. Which I don't know. I feel like there's probably a pretty hard limit, as in how many people slam the door in my face compared to how many people say yes, right?
yeah, exactly.
But
And also
we're going to pretend that, for the sake of the conversation, we were going to pretend that that didn't exist. And one of the other ones was that the taxes do not come out of how much we pay you. When we pay you, the taxes don't come out of that right away. They were very much implying that if I work for them, I would not have to pay taxes.
which for
Now,
a
say and because you don't have to be 18 to work for these guys, say I was at legal working age, something like 15, 16, 17, and they say this to me, I'm going to think that sounds great. I'm going to make my money with them. I'm not going to pay my taxes. And then I'm going to get audited and screwed.
yeah.
They do not care, though. They will set you up to be in that situation because there's no doubt that the money that they pay you, they're writing off in their taxes to get a nice return at the end. Like, this isn't completely under the table.
And
So there is a record of you being paid that money and then you not paying taxes on that money, right?
yeah.
They set you up to get screwed, but it's not their problem. They're using that as an argument to sort of get you on board. They do not care about you, your well-being, etc. They're trying to make self-employment opportunities for people who really do not have the understanding or the knowledge to protect themselves in a self-employment environment when employment law doesn't apply. And that's where these organizations really thrive, is where employment law does not apply to them, and you're not smart enough to protect yourself.
No, I think you've hit that nail on the head there. They are definitely exploiting a more vulnerable side of society. Here we do have legal protections against under 18s working for them because they do have to legally register as a I forgot what it's called now, but they have to legally register with the government, with the local councils.
As
So
like a sole proprietor, pretty much.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
register. Yeah, what's it called? So to join these companies, you have to be 18. But the way they went around that where I worked, where they got people who were, well, a little less knowledgeable about the law, was they were mainly targeting immigrants and people of who were not.
Oh, we
Who
could
were
spend a whole day
recent to the
talking about
country.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they were, which I think just points to the end of the day them trying to create not trying to, but very successfully creating a modern slavery system within many countries. A lot of countries are creating a modern day slavery system and no one's batting an eye.
Sell or starve.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that is one of the quotes he used. Sell or starve.
Go home without sales, you go home hungry. That's what it is. That's the reality for a lot of people, and because they're convinced that this is a much better opportunity than any other job, a lot of people try to stick through it.
Yeah, especially when they
Who convinces them of that? The organization that benefits from it, right?
yeah, they use a lot of terms that make people think that, oh, I'm going to become, well, not just terms, but actual fake lies and promises that you'll be a owner, when in reality, you'll never be an owner. And if you do become an owner, well, the shit just gets worse from there.
These guys are like Stratton Oakmont, Wolf of Wall Street. You know that organization. These guys are like Stratton Oakmont, except the only shareholders that they screw over are the people who work for them.
And the customers, they fuck over the customers as well, because
The customers get approached like any other door-to-door sales. Like oftentimes these companies are selling a reputable product, like telecommunications, something like that. And those guys aren't screwing over the customers. It's like the workers
they're
really do
not
get
their
screwed.
let's be completely honest now, they're not their customers, especially when it comes to charities and shit. Their customers are the corporate the charities themselves. The
Yeah.
charities,
Oh yeah, you mean the organizations that work with these marketing firms? Yeah, they
that
get
hire
screwed.
them, that outsource to them. And I wish I had the time in the day to tell every one of these companies, which, by the way, if you do work for one of these companies and currently listen to this, tell the person you work for, even if it's a shitty company, tell them, because the quicker these guys lose all their contacts within actual sales, the quicker this problem ends. Okay, welcome back, House. I think
Yeah, I'm back.
we're
Had to
gonna
do some work stuff.
call this here, and this will be the end of the first episode. If you guys enjoyed,
Definitely. Just a quick recap. We went over Duck's first 3 days with an organization, how badly he got screwed over in just 3 days of being there. Like it happened very quickly for him. Just a little. We touched on my experience just interviewing with this place and how weird it was for a little bit there. And we'll elaborate a lot more on some of the economics and some of the social dynamics of these guys as we go on.
yeah, hopefully we'll be able to show you some more interviews and give you some more insight on how similar all these different, quote unquote, different companies actually tend to be.
I hope so. Yeah.
Other than that, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed, and if you found any of this helpful, or if you know somebody who's in one of these direct sales calls and they've been up distant or they've not been talking much, just make sure to reach out to them if you haven't. If you have and they're still not willing to talk because they think you're just a downer or you don't you are someone who don't believe, there'll be resources in the description as along with this video that you can send to them, and maybe someone else can change their mind. Thank you anyway, and have a great day.